Okay, so here's what the Inno Series dump trailer from N&N, this is Canadian made in the province of Quebec. Voulez-vous, comment allez-vous, monsieur? So this is our dumper. This is a 7x12 dump trailer, Inno Series. So N&N will make an Inno Series and a heavier duty HD series. It's got room underneath for ramp storage. I don't carry my ramps with me because I almost never use them for our purposes. But here's what they look like. They're extremely heavy duty. My neighbor borrowed the trailer recently to go pick up a skid steer he bought, and the ramps are very heavy duty. So this style of trailer, we put the wood sides on it to raise it up a little bit. This style of trailer has a dual gate, so these doors will open. That's how we use it to dump. But it also has the gate can be used. I won't be able to show that in operation, but the gate can be used for dumping gravel and stuff to string it out gradually. So it is it's got that purpose. I don't think many guys use it for that, but you can. So the Inno Series, like I said, this is a 7x12 attractive looking trailer, adjustable hitch, 7-pin adapter. Ours came with a spare. Sometimes you got to pay for the spare. I've had to replace or fix one flat tire, not the trailer's fault. Tires and wheels all seem good. Now I went with a galvanized trailer. I've told people, you know, I think Canadian dollars, I paid around 14,000 for this plus taxes. I've told people it's not going to cost me a nickel to run. I'll probably, if I run this trailer for 5 years and sell it, I won't lose $1 on it. I'll probably get more than I paid for it. Galvanized really pays you back. So when I was looking for a trailer, I'd find powder coated black trailers, couple years old, rusted out, like really in beat up shape. And guys were paying top dollar for that. They paid, like someone paid $8,000 for that in like 2015, keep it for 8 or 9 years and sell it for more than they paid for it. So I think any trailer, dump trailer really keeps its value well, but I expect the galvanized to stand up over time and to really last well. So just taking a little bit closer look at what you get here inside the toolbox. It comes with a good battery charging system, right? So you can plug battery in right here, plug it in with a normal extension cord, as long as you got that just regular end on it. Works good. Charger has several settings, can charge 2 amp, 2 amp slash 5, 2 amps, or 5 amp slash 8, 15 amp slash 10. So it is good. You got a battery repair. We've used this a couple of times. Like most people, once in a while you get working just on short trips and all of a sudden you don't have battery to lift your dumper. But I think the smart charger here works really well. Got a good pump in there, so everything's a little dusty in here. Battery charging system works well. We've just done charging the battery. We'll take those off the post now. Got a bit of a hydraulic fluid tank here and nice control up and down. It's also got a little bleeder valve down here, so you don't have to use the control on the way down. You can just, right here, you can just use the bleeder valve and let that go, which I did for a lot at the start, but now I just use the control. So simple way we go up. Sorry, got to put, so one of the things you got to put in here, there's a little key. There's a spot for a key at the back in order to get power to the trailer so someone can't come along and just mess with it. You can keep your key in a different spot. Little plastic key looks like that. So if we pop that in, turn it on, now we'll get some power to the trailer, so we'll lift her up. So see the cylinder extending. Some of them come with, so it's mounted underneath, but this is a better type of cylinder. So N&N does a lot of stuff right with these. I'm not gonna go all the way up here, but you see that extending, pump's working away. We'll go up just high enough. I'm gonna load this trailer up with birch firewood right now for tomorrow morning's delivery. And it's gonna be kind of crappy because it's wood I got stored in the backyard, but it's been very, very wet here this fall. So I gotta move it by wheelbarrow into the trailer, which kind of sucks. but it is what it is. So I think pretty heavy duty construction under here. See the galvanized. So this trailer we've had since, I guess March or so. Pretty heavy duty, good construction on the cross beams, good heavy duty construction underneath. Wiring tucked away, out of the way. Lots of good stuff. This trailer comes with leaf springs, 2 axles. It comes with electric brakes in this version, which are configured to work off of your 7-pin adapter. So I've heard really good things about these Inno Series, and I've certainly been happy with ours to date. Dumps right. One time I had one of my kids helping me at a dump for Firewood. They didn't know so I asked them to open the trailer doors on their side. They didn't know to chain the door up. So as I was raising it, I'm like, oh, it's not raising very fast once we got kind of high. And I realized that the kid had not chained it up. Not the kid's fault, it's my fault. I should have been the one telling him. And so the hoist was fighting against the door. And a lot of lighter built stuff, that would have just bent the door and I would have had to spend money to get it fixed somewhere. It was this door here. But nothing happened because the construction on the hinges and everything about these trailers is really, really sturdy. And so we were lucky in that case. Again, not the kid's fault, it's dad's fault for not telling him. But everything on here has been built really, really well. I won't show it, but it's got the pullover tarp there for safety for when you're hauling loads of branches and stuff. So overall, I would say this has been a great investment. I sat on the fence for a long time on whether to buy a trailer because you can rent one for $100, and I'm like, well, shit, I can rent a trailer like 150 times almost for what it's going to cost me to buy one. But then I sort of realized, every time I rent one, it's just money gone. And so, yeah, you got to make some initial investment to buy it, but I know that, again, I'll use this trailer for years and it won't cost me anything because they have such a high salvage value when you go to get rid of them. For someone like me, I could use it for 5 years, get into a brand new one and probably not cost me anything. But, the goal is, of course, to probably keep it for a lot longer than 5 years, seeing how things go. So it did not take us long. My youngest son and I, not too long after we had the trailer, put the wooden sides on. We based it off a design we'd seen on the internet. So just a couple of pressure treated 2x8s and just some cut up 2x4s to hold them all together into the brackets that you see on each end. They're designed for that purpose. And so pretty good. So overall, again, we'll show a little bit of footage from tomorrow and maybe Sunday on this trailer actually working to dump wood. But in terms of a review, that's most of the detail. And we've been very happy with it. Well built, sturdy, again, galvanized. So especially if you're in a place where they use a lot of salt on the roads and stuff, the galvanized probably stand up a little bit better. Not really any rust anywhere on it yet. We'll see how it goes after a couple more years. So again, can just use the controller to let the trailer down. Comes down nice and smooth. It's not using any power. You don't hear the motor running or anything as it shouldn't. So once I realized that was the case, the guy that I bought it from, the dealer, had said to use the bleeder valve, but now I just routinely use the control to lower the trailer. So that's all the way down. Put it in there. Grab that key back out. And it pops into this little bag here. Of course, you should, if you're in an area where theft is an issue, you keep all of this locked up. You got the locking toolbox. So there's keys for that come with it. And overall, that's a little bit of a tour. So I was thinking, I know one of the questions some people might have, what's the difference between the Inno Series and the HD Series? The construction is very much the same. So this is a 10K trailer. So where I am, it means it does not need a yearly inspection. If you go to their 14K trailer, so max gross vehicle weight between the trailer and whatever you're hauling would therefore be 14,000 pounds. Now you would need to get it yearly inspected where I am. This one you don't. Not that inspections are a bad thing. It's good, always good to make sure everything's working. This is built almost as sturdy as the 14K from what the research that I did on the N&N website. So the only difference that I could see on the 14K was that it might have been more plies on the tires, but one of the things, it would have jack stands at the back so that you could put those jack stands down and it would keep the trailer, like reduce the danger of the trailer ever coming unhitched during a dump, which it did for us one time. I had not check carefully after one of my boys had hitched the trailer. So we were dumping and pulled ahead and came off the ball. It wasn't a big deal. We, just jacked the trailer up in 2 seconds and got everything right again. But you just got to be careful and check stuff. So I think, yeah, you can go with the HD, but you don't get a lot more than with the Inno Series as far as I could tell. Other people's research might lead them to a different conclusion. But I've been long and short of it. Inno Series certainly suffices for us. I've mentioned the style of tailgate we have. I know you can get a landscape gate on these Inno Series trailers, and those look pretty cool. So in that case, if you're driving in and out of the trailer a lot, so the landscape gates will stick up much higher, they will fold down, and it's easy whether you're driving or walking in and out of the trailer, easy to get in and out. So landscape gates might really work for people using it for a landscaping company or grass cutting mostly or whatever. I easily could have gone with that. If that would have been the only option available, I would have had no trouble with that. But we're happy with this one. It's worked well for us. Would I do anything different? I wouldn't say I'd do anything different. I know that the toolbox, or the cover for the tarp here, sits up pretty high. So basically when you're backing the trailer up, you can't see, it's difficult to see the end of the trailer. Now, we've had this for quite a while. We use it constantly, and knock on wood, I'm pretty good at backing up with this. Never had any issues or whatever. I know what some guys will do is they'll put markers on the back of it. So there's plastic caps here that can be removed like this, and a 2x4 will fit in there if you shave it off a little bit, and that could stick up a little bit, especially if you painted it red or orange or something, and it would show you where the back of the trailer is. We haven't had to do that. I know lots of guys do that, and that'd make it a little bit easier. But if you're sitting in the cab of your truck, we roll with a 1-ton diesel truck, and even sitting up that high, I can't see the back of the trailer usually from the cab because of the height of the tarp cover. So not a big deal, but it is what it is, and be cognizant of that. Safety chains, adjustable hitch, all of that works good so far. You get what you pay for, is the old saying. We've been happy with the value that we've got out of this trailer, and again, we use it constantly. There's weeks where we'll run it every day, and then it might sit for a few weeks. But I was on the fence of whether to buy or rent. I was on the fence, and it just made too much sense to buy something and have it available to us all the time, given how well they keep their value. So like I said, we're going to load it up with birch today. We'll go dump that tomorrow morning and stack, and we'll take some action videos to round out the review. But I would say N&N trailer, Inno Series 7x12 dumper. You can get them in 6x12, you can get them in 7x14. There's lots of different options. 5x10s, the baby dumper. But the quality of the Inno Series from N&N is very significant, and we couldn't be happier with what we've gotten out of this trailer. So just pausing in the middle of loading my birch, add a little bit to this video. Thought I'd show you a little bit about our yard here in the Manitoba wood yard. This isn't where we keep our wood, or most of our wood, or do much processing. This is where we live. So nice rural neighborhood here. There's the pile of birch I'm wheelbarrowing from, about a cord started there. Little look at the house. Pool's all covered up for winter. Garden shed, and we're right on a farmer's field, which is beautiful. He had soybeans this year. I think last year he had canola. the requisite Canadian hockey net. More birch, maybe another cord there, so another cord here, and I've just been piling it here just because on the patio with the southwest exposure we get lots of, so that's the last little bit that I got to dry out or finish drying out for customers, and we get lots of sun and wind here, so it's a good spot. Beautiful little place. Moved out here almost exactly 2 years ago. Nice river view and all of that, so good property we own. You can kind of see further in the distance a little bit of outcropping of trees there. So we own along the river down that far. So we got started in this wood business by pulling trees, deadfall and standing dead trees out from along the riverbank and selling a little bit of wood in bags. And all of a sudden that turned into, you know, 75, 80 cords this year, 150 next year, and we'll see where it goes after that. But we're kind of all started, so we're pretty happy here, but I thought I'd share with you a little peek around our property. Back to work now. All right, got what I think is probably a cord of birch all loaded up by wheelbarrow. Didn't take too long. Nice looking wood. Take this into the city tomorrow for a gentleman. Like I said, needs a little extra help stacking. Now this is not the ramp that comes with the trailer. This ramp is what I use to, I've got 2 of them. They help me get in and out of the garden shed with my riding mower, my 0-turn mower. Works great though. Hooks onto the lip that is built for the ramps the trailer does come with very well. Makes it easy to get in and out with the wheelbarrow. So we'll call that, it must probably took me an hour or so to load that by hand. So having to probably go around 100, 120 feet by wheelbarrow. So not too bad. We'll get that into the city tomorrow. And like I said, we'll hopefully do a little demo of the trailer actually working. So see you then. All right, morning everybody. Just getting ready for our delivery, continuing our review of this Inno Series 7x12 dump trailer. So, the wonders of modern technology, backup cameras and hitch cameras on the truck make it a little bit easier to get it in the right spot. To see how the hitch works. Got a pretty good sturdy jack here. Crank that up. Payload capacity on this truck is really good, so you get a couple cords of wet oak in this trailer, or a cord and a half, you'd be at enough weight that the tongue weight, which is usually 10 to 15%, does count against the payload of your truck. So when we were looking for a truck, we had a half ton, not where we were near good enough on the payload capacity. Went to the 1 ton's good. Safety chains here, everything secured. 7-pin connector goes right in there. Works good. Now we'll maybe give that one more loop around. That'd make it too short. We got all easy roads, so no chance of getting that caught on anything. So we'll go. We're gonna have to pull ahead just a little bit to get this pin back in, but other than that, next time we'll see you, we'll be unloading. All right, that's it for now. We're at the we're at the site now. Gonna dump this cord of birch and then stack it for him. So I was able to get pretty much all the way in the garage. We're watching for the roof line, of course. See how the trailer tilts up. Jacoby's gonna go around and record from the back. Should be able to call that good for now. We're short of the roof and that wood will come sliding down as we stack it. So we're gonna get going. Here we go. All right, so we got our cord birch stacked in about 36 minutes for 3 of us to do it. But I wanna draw attention to some wood that was here before we got here. Some pretty massive pieces of wood. Like the lady, the first thing when we got here, she's like, oh, hopefully your wood. Oh, she said, actually I opened the trailer. She said, oh, those are such nice sizes. I mean, who would bring something like this? Those are, that right there is probably 10 to 12 inches in diameter. And that'll be 10 for sure. And like split in half. Well, nobody wants that, right? They really don't, firewood guys. So we occasionally get somebody that says they like stuff a bit bigger for boiler or heating. But yeah, it takes a couple extra minutes to split it to the size that most of our customers who are lighting comfort fires want. But you know, they're happy you're delivering the right product, so that's the way we do it. All right, so we're pretty much ready to go. Got a little bit of cleanup to do. We'll clean that all up for the customer, then we'll be gone. So that's going to kind of complete our review of the dump trailer. See a little bit more about our operation, what a typical delivery looks like. We've got a busy weekend yet ahead. We got to load up 2 cords today, which is about all we can deliver in our truck and trailer without starting to stack the wood in the truck and trailer. I imagine we could go probably a full 3 cords, or that would probably be what we could do if we stacked the wood instead of just tossing it. But works good for us. It's pretty rare for us to get asked to deliver more than 2 cords. So that's what we're going to do the rest of the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all soon.